Pharmacies are doing clinical trials on the female version of Viagra, and it would be a nasal spray that would be absorbed by the body in just a few minutes, and it would take a few hours to actually activate, but it's supposed to help with female orgasmic disorder. And, you know...
Come on. I love that we put names on everything. Okay, does that exist, like women who have trouble having orgasms? Of course. Female orgasmic disorder. Now it's a thing. Now the pharmaceutical companies can make money off of it. Okay.
Well, about half of women just don't orgasm from having sex, you know? So pharmaceutical companies are trying to find a way to profit from that by offering some sort of testosterone gel. That's essentially what this is, to help women, you know, amp up their libido and possibly get an orgasm. So they're doing the clinical trials in Canada and Australia, but I actually have a huge problem with this, right?
Oh, really? Because that's... On the surface, it sounds like an awesome idea. Okay. I mean, this country's been struggling with FOD for a long time. And you know who gets more excited by this than women? Men. Because they're like, oh yeah, you know, immediately the teenager mind, which I can sometimes access, because I think like a 16-year-old kid all the time. Anyway, is thinking like, oh really? Get a little of that nasal spray action going on. So I imagine them encouraging women to take it, et cetera. But what's the downside?
So first let me tell you what the upside is, okay? And then I'll tell you why I have an issue with it.
The upside is fairly clear. It's pretty significant.
Okay, so female sexual dysfunction is a real thing, and we think up to 43% of women suffer some form of sexual dysfunction. A lot of people have thought that drumming up the idea of a female Viagra is just for pharmaceutical companies. In fact, there is a huge need for women to have their sexual dysfunction addressed. Okay, so that's Dr. Fiona Jane, and she talks about how this is a serious issue among women and that they need to take drugs to make sure that they can orgasm during sex. Okay, so we get the upside. But I think that the downside is that all of a sudden we're going to introduce these synthetic hormones into our bodies to force us to have, or to allow us to have orgasms, when in reality we can just, I think women know how to have orgasms, right? And if you're not having orgasms through sex, I think you just need to open up that conversation. And don't get me wrong, I know that there are a population of women that can't orgasm. It's a small population that can't orgasm even if they masturbate, which is like the saddest thing on the planet.
Do women do that?
Okay, but
Tell me more about that.
if you're not orgasming through sex, it's because you're not communicating what you need. You know, if you need him to do certain things, just tell him to do certain things.
Okay, now look, I hear what you're saying, and I don't want this to be a shortcut, right?
Right.
Like instead of having a healthy conversation about, hey, this is what turns me on, this is the way to go, you're just like, okay, let's go.
And not
Party
only that,
time,
and
right?
not only that, Cenk, it's testosterone gel. Testosterone is a male hormone. Okay, think about what the side effects of a testosterone gel would be for women.
I hear you. So I think that they should do massive testing on it. I want it to be safe, etc. But a lot of people are going to have the conversations, they're going to do the right things, and then they simply have an issue with their body where they cannot orgasm.
Yes.
In which case, I'm like, you see what I'm saying? Because why would you want to miss out on one of the best parts of life? That's what's so ridiculous about, you know, this Puritan, you know, culture that we have sometimes in America, where they're like, oh my God, sex is so forbidden. Oh, don't do that. Are you kidding me? You're gonna go through life and not enjoy one of the greatest gifts that we have? I mean, have you ever had an orgasm? Do you see what I'm saying? Isn't it crazy that we know for a fact that it is literally one of the most enjoyable things you could do, if not the most enjoyable thing you could do, and there's a whole range of people in the country arguing against it. Like, no, not outside of marriage, not this, not this, not this. Only if you're in missionary position, then I will allow an orgasm. Get the fuck out of here, okay? You see what I'm saying?
No, I get it. And I like that option, if it goes through clinical trials and it's safe, I like that women will have that option.
Yeah.
But I like you said, I don't want it to be a shortcut, because I think that women can naturally orgasm through having intercourse. They just need to communicate.
Right. And there used to be an option for this in the past. You know, if women had trouble orgasming, and they just would go to a good lover. And that option in the past was called Cenk.
Unbearable. Unbearable.
A little Cenk action.
Two things, real fast. This could give some weight to the conspiracy theory that, you know, these women have been told so many times, something's wrong with you, girl. It ain't my fault. Something's wrong with you.
Right?
That's funny.
I mean, the guys that came up with this, like, dude, we got to figure something because it can't be me. And by the way,
It's not me, it's you.
I think you might get some people saying, no, I have the issue and I really can't. You might get those people.
Yeah, no,
which
like I said, those people definitely exist. And, you know, I like that this option will be available for them. But I think that there'll be a lot of people out there that don't have that issue and they do use this.
Keep it real, both things are true, of course. Like like guys like, man, I put in my 90 seconds. I don't know what's wrong with you, right? Okay. Right, and then there'll be guys who work for 3.5 hours at it, or women who work 3.5 hours on themselves, and you just can't have an orgasm.
And to go back to the other, previous porn conversation, talk about not sexy. Having to put on a condom and saying that. How about a woman go, hold on. okay, let's go. You're like, no, dude, stop.
Well, you can do that in the bathroom, man. I don't give a shit. Are you kidding me? Back when I was single, I see a girl doing this, I'm like, go time. Do you see what I'm saying? There's never been a clearer sign.